AM 560, The Answer.
The content and information on Real Estate Airwaves is for informational purposes only and should not be regarded as legal advice. Real Estate Airwaves does not provide legal advice and make no warranty or representation regarding the information on the show. Real Estate Airwaves shall not assume any liability for damages of any kind whatsoever relating to the use, misuse, or reliance of this information. The listener should conduct their own investigations, analysis, due diligence, draw their own conclusions, and make their own decisions. Any areas concerning taxes or specific legal or technical questions should be referred to lawyers, accountants, consultants, brokers, or other professionals licensed, qualified, or authorized to render such advice.
No fluff, no hype, no gurus. You're listening to Real Estate Airwaves on AM 560, The Answer. Get the inside information you need to find, fund, fix, and flip real estate in today's market. Joshua Ingalls and Vincent Pace share their secrets to minimize risk, maximize profit, and get deals done. We're pulling the curtain back and sharing the knowledge you need to succeed in real estate. And now, your hosts, Joshua and Vincent.
Thanks for tuning in. Today we are talking about how an investor named Albert John did a six-figure deal by working with a local title company in the area. The number here is 855-5-AIRWAVES, or you can visit realestateairwaves.com. My name is Joshua Ingalls. I'm an active real estate investor. Over the last 3 years, I've flipped over 60 fix and flip deals. I'm also an active real estate broker.
And I'm Vincent Pace. I head up Barnett Real Estate Investment Finance. We provide short-term capital to real estate investors.
We also have Albert John in the house today. Why don't you introduce yourselves, Albert?
Hi, my name is Albert John, and I'm the president and CEO of residentialhomebuyers.com.
Awesome. And we also have Anthony Latham, the president of National Title Solutions, and also the vice president, Ray Manuel. Thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Good to see you, Josh.
Hey, good to see you as well. Appreciate it, guys. Well, I'm really excited because Albert actually found this deal, and I'm going to talk to him a little bit about this deal because he was up against a really, really tight timeline. And when I mean a tight timeline, I'm talking he had a day. So, Albert, why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got introduced with National Title Solutions to begin with?
Well, Josh, I came to last month's meeting, your event, and I stopped by the National Title Solutions booth. I introduced myself to Ray Manuel, and I discussed last-minute closings. I ran into last-minute closings all the time, especially when I deal with motivated sellers going up for auction right before the auction sale. So he gave me a flyer about his company with all the services he offered, and that was it.
Yeah,
this provides a great example of something we've talked about in multiple episodes where going to these real estate networking events can really provide you with people who can help you fill out your team and help you get deals done.
So tell us a little bit about this deal. I know we had a really, really tight timeline. Tell me a little bit about how they helped you accomplish this deal and really save this guy's house from going to auction.
So the seller had to agree to sell the property. So they agreed to sell the property to me, and the first thing I thought of was working with a title company. I had remembered from the meeting that I had spoke to Ray, but even though I collected his business card, I didn't have the information on me. I saw your phone number. I called you, Josh, and you referred me over to them, and you took it even one step further. You actually called the title company to actually call me. So that also made a difference in getting a response back from them. So just making sure that you have access to people who help you at the last minute, it means a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. Who's on your power team? You know, we had National Title Solutions in here for that episode, and that's for a reason. Having people on your power team like a title company is so crucial to your business. And Albert, I know you had another title company that you worked with in the past, but they weren't able to do this deal. I think you said your attorney was on vacation.
Normal attorney that I currently use was on vacation, and she also works at the title company that her father owns. They weren't available to do the deal with me, and I didn't have the help that I needed. In order to do this deal, we actually had to stop the sale. And the title commitment, the title policy, the email actually came from the title company. It didn't come from me. And it helped me establish credibility to my offer, and it allowed for the plaintiff's attorney, the bank's attorney, to recognize that this wasn't some ploy to delay the sale for the seller. It was actual somebody credible stating that they can close on time.
So, Albert, if we could, I'd actually like to take a little bit of a step back. What was the situation with the seller that resulted in this opportunity for you?
So the seller was pretty much under the gun. They had waited to the last minute. They didn't consult a real estate broker and try to list the property for sale. They, as most motivated sellers out there, want to save their home. They want to keep their home. They don't want to sell.
So they were facing a foreclosure? They
were facing a foreclosure. Notice was served to them that the property was going up for auction. I arrived at the house, got there about 4:30. It was so early in the morning. I was so tired from the night before, I actually fell asleep. I woke up, and the seller had actually left the home. I think the seller said he had left the home at 6:30 in the morning. So I knocked on the door. I waited till appropriate time, 8:30. I didn't want to bother anybody too early. The wife answers the door, and the wife didn't give me the husband's phone number. So I asked the wife to take down my phone number and have the husband give me a call, and if it would be okay if I had her phone number so I can stay in contact with her. I noticed that people just tend to get your phone number and don't call you back, and it could be a really grave mistake if they don't call you back. The seller had a lot of equity in the property, and I try to be fair with the sellers, try to make them an offer. He owed $75,000. I offered $180,000. I thought that was a very fair offer given the circumstance. The property did, and it did appraise out for $350,000, but it was a win-win for all parties involved. Going back and asking the plaintiff's attorney, what do you think he would have got at auction? And she had said it was about $10,000 he would have netted after all the court costs and expenses and fees. And because of this situation, because of our offer and helping the seller through the situation, they were able to net around $49,000.
So this is an example of a short sale. So if you check out episode 13, we dove into a lot of these same tactics that he used to close this deal.
Well, keep in mind, this one he had equity.
He had equity. It wasn't a short sale.
Some of them, sometimes with short sales, they may be upside down. And I know National Title, you guys have stopped sale dates for short sales as well, right up against the timeline.
Yeah, we have. Yeah, we've.
So that's where having a title company help you to do that is really, really important. So
gotcha. So that's my mistake then. So let me clarify a little more. So they owed something to a lender, like just a standard bank?
It was a bank. They owed $75,000 on their mortgage. They also had a IRS tax lien from some lottery winnings that they had won previously, lottery or gambling winnings that they had. They never paid the state taxes, so it ended up being another $45,000.
Gotcha. Yeah. So this was not a short sale because they were not short on the payment. Once you paid them, they paid everybody back in full.
So when we buy properties, pre-foreclosures with equity, we're paying back all the back payments. We're paying back every single dime of interest. We're paying all the taxes that were past due. We pay everything back. So after paying everything back, after paying the state IRS tax lien, he was able to net the $49,000.
Yeah, and that's awesome considering that next day he would have gotten next to nothing.
Absolutely.
At all, had not Albert worked with the title company to stop the delay or delay the sale or stop the sale.
Yep.
So tell us a little bit about what did National Title, how did they work with you in this?
So once they got on the phone with me, I quickly texted them the PIN number of the property so they can pull up a title search, make sure it is first lien position that's actually going up for auction sale, and that there weren't any other liens on the property. So the second thing they did is they wrote up a full title policy, and being able to convey that title policy is, I think, the secret, the magic here that happened, because if you can get the seller to sell, but if you don't have a title company or a place to close or emails going out on your behalf to get deals done, then then you're pretty much stopped dead in the water. So National Title Solutions was able to help me convey that you do actually have a buyer here. He is willing to close, and no matter what the seller did before, doesn't matter, but we're able to close right now. So the bank pretty much gave me till the end of the year. They wanted it off their books, and they said, if you don't close by the 30th, he's going back up for auction. And I said, it's going to happen. I've always been able to close a real estate transaction. I've never not had the funds or the ability to be able to close. So that's something we can stand by.
Awesome. Well, the number here is 855-5-AIRWAVES, or you can visit realestateairwaves.com. And stay tuned, because we're going to be diving into this particular deal a little bit more in depth so that you can also create and stop foreclosures and also create deals for yourself. Stay tuned.
Mortgage rates are still near historic lows. If you're looking to buy your first home, upgrade, downsize, invest, or refinance, contact Matthew Ewald from Draper & Kramer Mortgage Corp. Matthew has been a trusted mortgage consultant for over 13 years and has options to fit your unique needs. With 40-plus investors, call Matthew today at 630-376-0484. That's 630-376-0484. Or apply online at mortgagechicagoland.com. Company NMLS 2551, NMLS 198323, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee, Equal Housing Lender.
If you want to do real estate deals, you need to learn the systems. Visit fliptoriches.com for info on workshops happening the first Tuesday of every month. Meet me, Joshua Ingalls, and other active real estate investors in the Chicagoland area. We give the most value possible with networking and information for new and seasoned investors. We meet the first Tuesday of every month at 3009 North Kedzie in Chicago at 6 p.m. Check out fliptoriches.com. That's fliptoriches.com for all the info now.
Need capital for your real estate investment? Let Barnett Real Estate Investment Finance be your partner for fast, flexible, and certain capital. Since 2008, they've funded millions of home flippers, landlords, auction buyers, wholesalers, and more. And they'd like their next deal to be with you. Submit your preliminary application now at barnettcapital.com/prelim or call them at 224-205-7266. Again, that's 224-205-7266.
AM 560, The Answer. It's all about making money with real estate. Now, back to Real Estate Airwaves on AM 560, The Answer.
Today we have joining us in studio Albert John of residentialhomebuyers.com and Anthony Latham and Ray Manuel from National Title. We're talking about a deal that Albert recently got that's going to result in a huge six-figure profit for him and how that happened. In our previous segment, we talked about what situation the seller was in that resulted in this opportunity being out there for him. And in this segment, I'd like to turn to actually what the deal's going to look like going forward. So, Albert, you've got this property now. What's the plan going forward to take it from this property you bought at a great deal to actually capitalizing and making that profit at the end of the day?
In these type of situations when there's equity on the table, you really have to understand what the seller's wants and needs are. And I always try to solve a problem. And the problem with this seller is he needed time to relocate. So I gave him a month to live in the property for free. I assigned him a real estate broker to help him relocate. And I gave him some money at closing table so he'd had the money to afford packing materials, movers, first month's deposit, all that type of stuff. Yeah. So
in addition to the amount he got out of the proceeds of the closing, you additionally gave him more to handle some other closing costs.
Actually, no. I held back a certain amount because we didn't know exactly how much the IRS would come back. The title policy said subject to a holdback amount of a certain amount of funds because IRS, they add their fees. It could be $10,000, it could be $25,000. So we hold back most of about 75% of the proceeds from the sale, and we gave him about $15,000. So he would just have enough to be able to still make the transition while we waited for the results from the IRS.
Gotcha. So that makes the deal even more interesting from the seller's perspective, because had you not come in and offered a higher price than was expected at auction, they would have still owed the IRS money.
Mm-hmm. there's got to be in it something, a substantial amount for the sellers. We always give our sellers between $30,000 and $50,000 of dollar capital amount on top of what they owe, if there's enough equity on the table. Yeah.
Gotcha. So right now, are you still in the period when the seller is occupying the property?
Yes.
Okay. So that'll be the next several weeks. He'll still be there.
Yes.
Then after that, what's the plan for the property? What sort of is it a rehab that you're going to flip? What level? Tell me a little bit about the project.
So basically, the property, when I rehab a property, I like to focus on the kitchens, bathrooms. In this particular property, it actually makes sense to remodel the basement. Usually I don't touch the basement, but the comps that are selling between $350,000 and $430,000 for this property all have finished basements. So for me to put in the extra money to get the finished basement, I might get double my return on that. And so kitchens, bathrooms, floors, just a full remodel of the property, and try to sell it for top dollar.
And that's an excellent point that we brought up in episode 15 when we talked about estimating your construction costs. What's going on in the comps? Albert here looked at the comps and he said, "Oh, they all have this certain kind of basement, so I need to add that there." So when do you expect construction to actually start? Is there a permitting process you need to go through, or are you pretty much ready to roll as soon as the seller exits? So
generally what we do is about 2 weeks prior to the seller exiting the property, we apply for permits if necessary. The way I do my rehabs is I have a one person. He does electrical, plumbing, HVAC. He's like an all-in-one type guy. So he does all the stuff behind the walls, rerouting of what if we need to. And then I have another general contracting crew that comes in and does all the heavy lifting and puts the rest of the carpentry and tile and flooring all down. So this way it helps me save on construction cost when I go through a property.
So you've got your permitting lined up, and then your construction, how long do you expect that to take once it gets rolling?
I usually don't have all the contractors start until I have all the materials ordered and ready to go, all the cabinets, countertops, and I'd like to schedule it so that it starts and finishes no later than 2 weeks.
The entire construction?
The whole thing.
Wow.
I hire the right crews. I get in, get out, and then get it. Time is money for me. So,
absolutely. So is this a full gut rehab, or are you kind of selectively?
No, I'm selectively. So I'm not taking out drywall. I'm not doing insulation. Most of the electrical staying in the same place where it is. I'm just taking out the cabinets. They have the space above the cabinets where the old ladies look, and
sure.
Getting them to 42-inch cabinets, granite countertops. Redoing the bathrooms. Bathrooms are $3,000 to $4,000. Masters are maybe $5,000 to $7,000. Kitchens are $12,000 to $15,000, depending upon the work.
Right.
Yep.
Right. So you've got your kind of permitting all pinned down. You've got a tight construction schedule because the work is limited at this property. You didn't need to do all that much. Once you've got the work done, what do you expect the marketing time to be? How long will this property need to be marketed based on the comps?
But this property was very easy. It's part of like a master plan subdivision, so there is an assessment with this property. So all the comps, it's just based on square footage. So if the square footage was higher, the higher price that it would sell for. So what was your question again?
How long do you think it'll stay on the market? So do you need 90 days to market it before it sells? What's the turn time in the market?
The marketing time set about 30 to 40 days of marketing time before it sells, but I try to improve the property as best as I can. So I think if I pre-market it halfway during the construction, I should be able to market and sell it within 32, 34 days.
Gotcha. So you're going to tighten your marketing time by actually sort of pre-marketing it before it's actually ready to be sold.
So what I do is I call the brokers in the area. I let them know that this property is coming up. I also call all the comparable properties, and I tell the comparable agents that, hey, if you had any other buyers for your listings, you know what, this is also available. Please let them know. Please reach out to them. Here's a picture of how it's going to look like. Here's my previous work, all that type of stuff. Yeah.
Right. And as far as marketing the property goes, do you expect to do staging, or what sort of effort is going to be taken to actually beautify the property or present the property to the market.
Absolutely. Once the property is renovated, we will stage the property and we'll take professional photos. We use VHT, and we list the property for sale on the MLS and expect that co-broker will come and sell the property. I did see that there were 8 other comps in the area that sold within the past 6 months.
So a lot of movement in the market. A
lot of movement, and we're the only property in that subdivision available right now for sale.
Mm-hmm.
How do you find a lot of these properties where you're able to stop them, just a day before or a week before it goes to the auction?
So I tend not to use other people's lists. I found early on in my investing career, I've been a real estate investor for the past 16 years, going on 17 this year. So I found that using other people's lists and using other people's data isn't always accurate, and I might be spending money for marketing and mailers and flyers and time driving to the properties when property is no longer for sale. So I have a software that I've hired a programmer. I told him exactly what it did, what I needed to do. I used to work 10, 12 hours a day staring at a monitor, looking for deals on multiple different data sources, and it just didn't work for me. So we created algorithms to create investing strategies to hedge our bets on the properties that we're looking for. We aggregate all probates, all foreclosures, all bankruptcies, divorce cases, you name it. We put it into a bucket, and we try to see which ones have. We individually look at every single deal, and we try to see how much investor equity there is, to be had, and then what would be a fair price to offer. And we wait for the right opportunity to approach the owner.
So in this market, who ultimately is your clientele for this particular property? Do you have young families? Is it singles who have yet to marry? Or who's the typical target here?
Because there is an assessment, and some people, it's kind of like set up like a townhome community, but every house is individual. There's no connecting walls. I think it'd be great for somebody who's retired, somebody that's started a family. The price points are very reasonable to get in the market. It's under that 417 loan FHA loan limit, so you can borrow at 3.5% down, and just taking all that into consideration, being under the norm, that would be good.
So there you have it. That's the deal from end to end. Once he gets it to that clientele, that's where he makes his profit and he walks away with a great deal.
The number here is 855-5-AIRWAVES, or you can visit realestateairwaves.com. Stay tuned, because we're actually going to dive into how they stopped the actual sale date so that he can make this massive profit. We'll see you soon.
You're an investor, a lender in commercial real estate, or you're an attorney, and you use a title company. National Title Solutions wants a chance to be your title company. Give them a shot at your business, and you'll find out why they're the best choice. Most title companies keep banking hours and have no flexibility. National Title Solutions will do whatever it takes on your timetable. You'll save money, too. Give them an opportunity and see the difference. Convenient offices all over. National Title Solutions. Call 800-NTS-2700. 800-NTS-2700. Mortgage rates are still near historic lows. If you're looking to buy your first home, upgrade, downsize, invest, or refinance, contact Matthew Ewald from Draper & Kramer Mortgage Corp. Matthew has been a trusted mortgage consultant for over 13 years and has options to fit your unique needs. With 40-plus investors, call Matthew today at 630-376-0484. That's 630-376-0484. Or apply online at mortgagechicagoland.com. Company NMLS 2551, NMLS 198323, Illinois Residential Mortgage Licensee, Equal Housing Lender.
The Chicagoland Real Estate Investment Group invites you to build your network in real estate investing and learn from the region's experts. There's no charge to attend, and there won't be any hard sell for expensive courses. Join us on the fourth Monday each month in the North Shore. For more information, visit us at meetup.com/ChicagolandREI. Again, that's meetup.com/ChicagolandREI. Meetup.com/ChicagolandREI.
Need capital for your real estate investment? Let Barnett Real Estate Investment Finance be your partner for fast, flexible, and certain capital. Since 2008, they've funded millions of home flippers, landlords, auction buyers, wholesalers, and more. And they'd like their next deal to be with you. Submit your preliminary application now at barnettcapital.com/prelim. or call them at 224-205-7266. Again, that's 224-205-7266.
AM 560, The Answer. Now, back to the show that gives you the insider info. Real Estate Airwaves on AM 560, The Answer.
Welcome back. Today we have Albert John in studio with residential home buyers, and also Ray Manuel and Anthony Latham with National Title Solutions. So we're going to really dive into this deal and how you actually stopped the sale date, really the day of the actual foreclosure sale. I mean, this is really pretty awesome, again, that you were able to help this family actually get some of that equity that they had in the home back. It was really a win-win all the way across. So, again, just awesome job with that. So what did the title company do specifically to, again, you said that the title company sent an email. How did that work?
So basically, whenever you're dealing with plaintiff's attorneys, they need to know that this is not a stall tactic for the seller, that they're using one other way to stop the sale or get another chance to stay in the property a little bit more, a longer time. At the auction, they had told me at a later date that there were 17 registered bidders to buy this property at auction. I mean, everybody wanted it. So Ray, because this was part of a master plan community, you need to get a paid assessment letter, and that couldn't be done usually it takes 72 hours or 3 to 5 business days. Ray was able to pay for a rush letter to be sent, and he conveyed that to the plaintiff's attorney, stating to give us an extension. Because in Illinois, every homeowner, I think up until time of sale, they have the right to pay off their property. If you deny them the right to pay off their property, even if it went to a foreclosure auction sale, it can be overturned. So most people don't know that, and but I do. So I know we're giving them everything they need in order to be able to close. So they cleared the title policy. They in a day. So and that was very, very probably difficult to do. It's not their norm to be able to do that.
I can speak to the difficulty of getting a paid assessment letter in a day. We had another deal where there was a deadline like this, and we had to actually get the president of the Homeowners Association to fax us a letter the day of so that we can make closing. So this can be a real challenging thing to do.
It can be. And because there was so much legitimacy in what we were giving them and communicating to them, that's why they gave us the extension for another 3 days to be able to close this and close it by the end of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. That's fantastic. So, and then I know, Ray, I know you sent out an actual closer to meet with, I believe, the wife?
Yes. So the wife, she just got out of the hospital. She wasn't feeling well, and they had sent a notary to the wife because in Illinois, the property was in the husband's name, but since this is a homestead state, wife does actually have to sign as well and agree to sell. She wasn't just feeling the best, and so they ended up sending a notary to the home to have the wife be able to sign.
So how long before the foreclosure sale was this? Are we talking 48 hours, 24 hours?
We got the order Wednesday night. We got a call from Albert around 7 o'clock, and I immediately called Josh to find out because Albert called and said, I would like to close tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. And it's pretty unheard of for a title company to do a purchase in, less than 24 hours. So I immediately called Josh to find out who's Albert. Is he credible? And obviously Josh gave us the thumbs up, and just he's the real deal. So we worked our magic. We did the title commitment in less than 12 hours, and
so meeting the wife at the property was then the next morning?
Actually, what happened was when we did the search, we found out there was a state tax lien, as discussed previously, and then we found out that it was a condo, so obviously we needed a paid assessment letter. So I talked to Albert, and I was like, listen, I don't think we can close at 9 o'clock in the morning. There's absolutely no way we can. Is there any way that we can talk to the seller's attorney to find out if we can get some kind of extension. And that's when he talked about us giving the commitment to the attorney, as well as typing a letter stating, this transaction is going through. It's going through a title company. Please give us the extension, pretty much.
The cutoff to get this sale stopped was at noon that day.
Oh, my.
Right. So as you can...
So Wednesday night was when he called you. The cutoff was noon on Thursday.
Exactly.
Yes. Okay.
So you can imagine in the office it was, it was pandemonium. So we're running around calling condo certs. We're calling, this attorney. We're trying to get this commitment typed to make sure that everything shows legit to the seller's attorney. Luckily, Albert, made a call, got the extension after she got our letter, and we were off to the races. We ended up getting the condo paid assessment letter that evening, and they were able to get the extension till Friday. So we closed Friday at 9 o'clock.
So Wednesday night he calls you, and what is that, 36 hours later, including 2 nights of sleeping, I hope, right. You managed to close this deal.
Yeah, exactly.
And not only that, they stopped the sale, which that next morning...
11:47 a.m. in the morning, we stopped at sale 15 minutes prior to auction cutoff.
Incredible. Yeah, awesome job, guys. The number here is 855-5-AIRWAVES, or you can visit realestateairwaves.com. We'll see you soon.
Real estate agents are cheap. Many agents will only market your home on the MLS and put a sign up. Demand more. Joshua Ingalls invests in aggressive marketing, including high-def video, 3D virtual tours, professional photography, a custom website, and mailers, so you can get the most amount of money for your home in the shortest amount of time. Call Joshua Ingalls, broker with United Real Estate Chicago, at 630-544-1504 for a free home valuation, or visit HomeTeamIL.com to learn more.
Need capital for your real estate investment? Let Barnett Real Estate Investment Finance be your partner for fast, flexible, and certain capital. Since 2008, they've funded millions of home flippers, landlords, auction buyers, wholesalers, and more. And they'd like their next deal to be with you. Submit your preliminary application now at barnettcapital.com/prelim or call them at 224-205-7266. Again, that's 224-205-7266.
AM 560, The Answer. Now, back to the show with real estate info you won't find anywhere else. Real Estate Airwaves is on AM 560, The Answer.
Welcome back. Today, we are talking about how Albert John stopped a foreclosure sale the day of the sale by working with Manuel and Anthony Latham of National Title Solutions. Again, I really want to share with you how special this deal was. Albert John had never previously worked with this title company before. He calls them Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Not only do they get him a title policy, but they get him also a paid assessment letter, and they also meet with the sellers with the mobile notary. I mean, this deal is incredible. So it is important. It is so crucial to you and your business to have a title company that you're working with and is an integral part of your power team. So, Anthony, tell us a little bit about how title company can work with investors.
I want to back up, and I'm a proud papa moment here. Yeah. Hearing what my team did, and I was joking with Albert earlier. This was all transpiring outside of my office, so I'm like, Who is this guy? What is going on? And because I know Ray had some anxiety about it, but it was cool to see everybody piece it together so quickly and get it done. Because if we had went the traditional route, I don't think we would have gotten the sale done. I think you would have had some people muddying the waters without naming those people. But it shows that you can do a traditional sale in an untraditional way, per se, of how things are done here. So I think this show is a great example of how quickly we can stop what we're doing and focus on something and get it done. I think I don't want to say the competition, but let's be honest, this is tough. I mean, you're asking, because a lot of times in our industry, the quick answer is, well, we don't do that, or that's not my job, or it's the job. We proved we can do it. We know how to do it. I think we talked shows back in other states. We're expected to do it. So we have the knowledge and the wherewithal to do it. Pretty impressive what they got pulled off here.
Most title companies wouldn't have been able to pull this deal off in a week. Right. And you guys were able to do it the day of, which is just absolutely incredible.
And with the confidence, it was done correctly with no ramifications down the road. Knowing Ray had his hand in the plate and was watching this thing all the way through, I know with confidence as the owner of the company that this deal was done phenomenally well and by the book. Because corners can be cut and corners will be cut. So you got to also work with a team that's not going to cut corners, that down the road you're sitting here thinking, man, I've got this great deal, and oh, shucks, the title company missed this, and now I'm responsible for it. So I think that's important to point out, too.
Yeah, and really importantly, you guys stopped the house from going into foreclosure. So you stopped this gentleman from losing everything he had and having a foreclosure on his record. I
think Albert was going to jump on the computer and type the letter himself. That's how quickly we needed to get this done. And my girl who was working on it, I was watching it. I'm like, and I didn't. Once I found out what was going on, I'm like, yeah, I can see this urgency. And he was there walking, she was doing what he wanted, and that's just kind of how we work. It's customer service. We want to make him happy. We want to make a lifelong, raving fan of our clients. That's what you got to do.
This ties in nicely to the Power Team episode that we did.
Absolutely.
Where we talked about the people you need to bring on to make sure things get done quickly. We've had similar deals where we didn't even know a borrower existed, and then 48 hours later we closed on a deal with them. The fact that there's companies out there like us, like National Title, who can get these things done in that sort of time frame is a huge advantage to you as an investor.
Yeah, and going back, Josh, what we can do for investors, like I said, I think this episode summed it up on what we're willing to do and what we can pull off. I mean, we're going to do our best, and if we can, we'll let you know, but it's not our job is to get it done.
Yeah.
Our job is to get it done.
And even if you're, let's say this was a short sale situation and he was underwater, again, having a title company, I know you guys also do short sale negotiations.
Yeah, we do. We have a team we work with that does that for us. They've got a great track record, and we've got a good relationship with them, and that's all they do. They focus like we do. It's on that particular project and not 100 other things. So it gets thrown to the wayside. We like to get things done, and time is money. Time is money.
Absolutely. And so not only do you guys negotiate short sales, but if you guys are wholesaling deals, recording an affidavit of memorandum as well when you get a property under contract, so that way other investors can't go around you. So talk a little bit about what that does to protect a buyer.
Recording the affidavit, basically it's just recording interest in the property. So if you're recording this, you're technically saying, I have interest in this property, I'm going to buy it, and it basically clouds the title, meaning that affidavit has to be accounted for at the time of closing. So when a different investor tries to buy the property up from under you, they can't do so with having a clear title without that being satisfied.
Yeah, I mean, this goes back to on another episode that I talked about where I didn't do that, and I had another investor go around me, and I ended up losing over $10,000 on this deal because I didn't take that extra step. And with all fair honesty, I didn't know you guys back then. I wish I did because I would have had that money. So really having a title company in your pocket and a part of your tool belt will just make you very successful in this business when using them. And when you're up against a deadline like this, having people that will really go to bat for you and really work hard for you is so important.
Check out episode 8 where we talked with Ray about structuring wholesale deals, and he went into this topic in much greater detail.
The number here is 855-5-AIRWAVES, or you can visit realestateairwaves.com. Stay tuned because we're going to talk about putting all these pieces together to make you guys successful. We'll see you soon.
You're an investor, a lender in commercial real estate, or you're an attorney, and you use a title company. National Title Solutions wants a chance to be your title company. Give them a shot at your business, and you'll find out why they're the best choice. Most title companies keep banking hours and have no flexibility. National Title Solutions will do whatever it takes on your timetable. You'll save money, too. Give them an opportunity and see the difference. Convenient offices all over. National Title Solutions. Call 800-NTS-2700. 800-NTS-2700.
Need capital for your real estate investment? Let Barnett Real Estate Investment Finance be your partner for fast, flexible, and certain capital. Since 2008, they've funded millions of home flippers, landlords, auction buyers, wholesalers, and more. And they'd like their next deal to be with you. Submit your preliminary application now at barnettcapital.com/prelim or call them at 224-205-7266. Again, that's 224-205-7266.
AM 560, The Answer. It's all about making money with real estate. Now, back to Real Estate Airwaves on AM 560, The Answer.
Today we've had in studio with us Albert John of residentialhomebuyers.com and Anthony Latham and Ray Manuel of National Title. We've really dove today into a case study of a deal that Albert John is currently working on, where he found a pre-foreclosure deal through a variety of methods that he uses to gather deals, and he created a real win-win for a seller who needed to pay off a bank and pay off IRS tax liens and still be able to walk away with a little cash in pocket. Whereas on Albert's end, he's making it into a great flip deal. As part of this process, there was a very tight timeline. Albert came to National Title on Wednesday night with a deadline to stop a foreclosure sale at 12 o'clock on Thursday, the next day. So that's like not even 18 hours apart. National Title jumped on it, made it happen. They delayed it. By the following day, they were able to close on the transaction. An excellent story about having a great team available to you to get your deals done quickly and efficiently.
Yeah, we want to thank you guys so much for joining us. Albert, how can people contact you if they want to connect with you?
Call me directly on my cell phone. My phone number is 630-205-2121. And you can always go to my email is albert@residentialhomebuyers.com. Go to my website, check it out. It's really important to have a really good website. All the content, the images, the data, it was all custom made specifically for sellers and motivated sellers who need to find an answer, to the questions that they've had.
Awesome. I mean, even if you're an investor yourself and you're looking to set up your website, recommend you to visit Albert's website to see maybe model his success and kind of, you can't copy word for word what he's saying, but then you have something to go off. That's awesome. Thanks so much again, Albert John, for joining us and really saving a home from foreclosure.
Yep.
Also, thank you to Ray Manuel and Anthony Latham from National Title Solutions, two critical members in my power team. Thank you guys so much for coming today. And how can people get in contact with you?
Via the web at ntsnational.com, or they can just reach out at 1-800-NTS-2700. That's 800-687-2700.
Yeah. Awesome. And Ray, fantastic job, man. You are a workhorse. When you operate under pressure, and this deal couldn't have been done without you, so awesome job.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the opportunity. Albert, thank you. Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. Josh, thank you for the referral.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, if you're listening, we bring on our power team. We've got Barnett here who can finance you. We've got our title company. My resources are your resources. Had I known National Title Solutions when I first started out, again, I would be in such a better place in my business today. We're handing them to you on a silver platter. So take advantage of this team that I've created and tapped into with Vince. And again, same thing. If you need a loan closed in 48 hours, he's done it in the past.
My team will not like hearing that. But,
but it can be done. So don't ever think it's too late to do a deal. The deal is not done until the actual sale happens. and we can really help a lot of people and impact people's lives. The number here is 855-5-AIRWAVES, or you can visit realestateairwaves.com. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week.
You've been listening to Real Estate Airwaves on AM 560, The Answer. Come back next Sunday at noon for more insider real estate information from Joshua and Vincent. You can listen to past shows, contact them, and get free exclusive content at realestateairwaves.com. That's realestateairwaves.com.